Hello, Immortal News family, and welcome back to our channel. In the last 24 hours, we have received the somber news of the passing of extraordinary talents, and today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Before we start, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Number 6. Charley was the kind of actor you never forgot. Even if you didn't know his name, you remembered his face and his soul. These words from a longtime colleague capture the quiet strength and honesty Charley Scalies brought to every role. He passed away peacefully at the age of 84. His family shared that he died from natural causes, surrounded by loved ones. Charley's most iconic role came in the critically acclaimed HBO series, The Wire, where he played Thomas "Horseface" Pakusa. His performance as the gruff yet loyal dockworker was grounded, real, and unforgettable. It made him a familiar face to millions. His journey to the screen, however, wasn't typical. Charley's early years were spent entertaining guests at his father's South Philly pool hall, where he did voice impressions and told jokes as a young boy. Though gifted in performance, he stepped back from acting to focus on raising a family with his beloved wife, Angeline. He called it taking a regular job, but his dreams never faded. 2 decades later, Charley made a comeback with a part in the Al Pacino film, 2 Bits. That role reignited his career. He went on to appear in films like 12 Monkeys, Liberty Heights, and Jersey Girl. But it was TV where he truly shined. Fans recognized him for his roles in hit shows like The Sopranos, Law and Order, Cold Case, and Homicide: Life on the Street. He had a rare gift for breathing life into everyday figures, often portraying blue-collar characters with warmth and depth. Off-screen, Charley remained deeply connected to performance through community theater and stand-up comedy. He was also a devoted husband, father to 5 children, and grandfather to 4. His life was rich beyond the frame, filled with family, humor, and heart. Charley Scalies leaves behind a legacy of resilience, talent, and thoughtful storytelling. He found success on his own terms and left a lasting mark on the world of television drama. Tributes to Charley Scalies. Number 5. Howard was the kind of leader who would sit with you over a turkey sandwich and listen to your ideas, remembered Robert Phillips, a longtime colleague. That simple moment captures the essence of Howard Ruby: visionary, patient, and always willing to lend an ear. Howard Ruby, known as the father of corporate housing, passed away peacefully at age 90. He died of natural causes, surrounded by loved ones. Howard didn't just create a business, he built a new way of living. In the 1970s, he reimagined extended stays for business travelers. By offering fully furnished apartments with hotel-like services, he launched what we now call corporate housing. Oakwood, the company he founded, grew into a global force, serving every U.S. state and 86 countries. Fortune 500 companies, Hollywood productions, and government agencies all turned to Oakwood for Howard's unique hospitality vision. His path to success began long before Oakwood. From a childhood lemonade stand to service in the U.S. Navy, from South Bay clubs to R&B Realty Group, Howard's journey was defined by pivoting, adapting, and always pushing forward. When regulations changed how his early ventures could operate, he pivoted. That move eventually reshaped the modern hospitality industry. Outside the boardroom, Howard was equally inspiring. Diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa later in life, his world dimmed, but his mission never wavered. He turned his lens to nature, photographing endangered animals, journeying to remote corners of the earth, and founding the educational platform Climate Classroom Kids to teach future generations about environmental action. He was also deeply devoted to his wife, actress Yvette Mimieux. The couple shared a passion for art, travel, and conservation. Their Bel Air villa, Il Sogno, was a sanctuary filled with love and European craftsmanship. Howard Ruby is survived by 4 children. His legacy lives in every furnished apartment, offering weary travelers a sense of home, and in every child learning how to care for the planet through his environmental outreach. His life was one of purpose, generosity, and bold ideas. He left the world more comfortable, more connected, and more conscious of its fragile beauty. Tributes to Howard Ruby. Number 4. Warren Cohen never backed down from the truth, no matter how complicated or controversial, recalled a fellow historian. He taught us that honesty in history matters, not just for scholars, but for nations. Warren Cohen, an unmatched voice in the study of American diplomacy, has passed away at the age of 90. He died peacefully after a long and extraordinary life spent in pursuit of understanding between countries, and clarity in the telling of their shared stories. He helped reshape how the world sees U.S. foreign relations, especially with China and East Asia. Through more than 20 books and decades in the classroom, Cohen challenged assumptions, corrected records, and widened the lens through which America's global role is viewed. His landmark works, like America's response to China and East Asia at the center, earned him deep respect among scholars and students alike. He edited the Cambridge History of American Foreign Relations, bringing insight and balance to a sweeping view of America's place in the world. Beyond research, Warren Cohen lived his convictions. In 1990, he took a principled stand and left a U.S. State Department committee to protest the omission of CIA involvement in the 1953 Iran coup. It wasn't an easy choice, but it was a clear one. History should never hide the uncomfortable truths. He taught at leading universities coast to coast, leaving lasting impressions on all who learned from him. Whether lecturing at Harvard or mentoring graduate students at UMBC, Cohen brought both rigor and kindness into every room. His colleagues described him as generous, deeply ethical, and quietly courageous. As one of his former students wrote, he saw the world clearly, and yet never lost faith in the power of understanding. Warren Cohen is survived by his children, Jeffrey Scott and Ann Leslie. He was predeceased by his wife and fellow historian, Nancy Bernkopf Tucker. Though his voice is no longer with us, his words continue to teach, inspire, and challenge. Few historians leave behind not just a body of work, but a path forward for those who come after. Tributes to Warren Cohen. Number 3. The world needs courage, imagination, and purpose, Phyllis de Picciotto once said, and she brought all 3 to life through decades of transformative work in film and community. At 84, Phyllis passed away peacefully after a long and vibrant life shaped by passion, vision, and a fearless spirit. She wasn't content to follow paths. She created them. Originally from Los Angeles, she rose through the ranks of the art film scene, curating bold, meaningful programs at Laemmle theaters. Her work celebrated stories often overlooked, focusing on civil rights, psychology, women filmmakers, and cinema from around the world. These thoughtfully curated series didn't just entertain, they educated and inspired. When she moved to Santa Barbara in 1983, Phyllis didn't slow down. She saw a need, gathered her community, and lit the spark that became the Santa Barbara International Film Festival. With support from her husband Stan Roden and industry leaders like Bruce Corwin, she helped transform the festival into a major cultural event. Her elegant vision brought global cinema to local audiences and placed Santa Barbara on the cinematic map. Phyllis's impact reached beyond the screen. She was a civic force, serving with local arts and women's organizations, always using her voice to lift others. She brought together creators and community, activism and artistry. Even in later years, she continued to make films alongside her husband, amplifying voices through short documentaries focused on social justice. Her work was always guided by a deep belief that film can change hearts and change the world. Her husband, Stan, shared these poignant words. Her passage paralleled how she lived her life: strong, trailblazing, stubborn, smart, intuitive, loving, and did I say stubborn, and oh so bold to the end. Phyllis de Picciotto is survived by Stan and their daughter Leonie. Her contributions to the arts and the people she touched will echo for generations. The festival she helped build stands as a living tribute, and her courage remains a guiding light in the film world. She will be deeply missed. Tributes to Phyllis de Picciotto. Number 2. Even at the height of war and crises, he made his mark on the economy. Adnan Kassar carried more than titles. He carried Lebanon through some of its toughest times, with vision, resilience, and an unwavering dedication to progress. He passed away peacefully at the age of 94, leaving behind a legacy that stretched far beyond borders. Kassar's journey began in trade, at just 25, when he built a pioneering partnership with China. But this was only the beginning. During a time when others left, he stayed. He and his brother Adel acquired Franza Bank in the middle of Lebanon's civil war. Under his leadership, it became one of the country's largest banks, with branches reaching from Beirut to Paris, and as far as Cuba. He didn't just rebuild, he helped redefine Lebanese banking. For nearly 3 decades, he served as president of the Beirut Chamber of Commerce and Industry. From there, his impact grew across Lebanon and the Arab world. He guided major economic organizations, always steering them with dignity and foresight. In 1999, Kassar broke new ground, becoming the first Arab to head the International Chamber of Commerce. From Paris, he championed global business ties, giving the Arab business world a stronger voice on the international stage. He also answered the call to government, serving his country as Minister of Economy and Trade, and later as Minister of State during critical periods. Across his lifetime, Kassar received honors from Lebanon, France, and Italy, symbols of the global respect he earned. But he was remembered just as fondly for his character, steady, generous, and deeply rooted in service. The Lebanese American University, home to a business school that now bears his name, spoke of his enduring generosity. Former Minister Mohammed Choucair called him a great man who shaped Lebanon's economic course through both hope and hardship. Adnan Kassar is survived by his wife Raida and their daughter. His legacy lives on through the institutions he built, the partnerships he fostered, and the example he set for future generations. His passing marks the end of a remarkable era. Tributes to Adnan Kassar. What's trending on the internet? News 1. Rapper Fat Joe is mourning the loss of his mother, Maria del Carmen Cartagena, who passed away at age 77. The music star shared the heartbreaking news on Instagram on May 3, 2025, just 1 week before Mother's Day, and only 3 months after the death of his father, Ernesto Cartagena. In his touching tribute, the 54-year-old rapper, whose real name is Joseph Antonio Cartagena, wrote, "This a real one. Rest in peace to the woman who brought me in this world. She didn't have much, but she gave us everything." He suggested she died of a broken heart, following his father's passing in February at age 89. Fat Joe shared that his mother raised him and his siblings in the Bronx, New York, where she remained even after he found success in the music industry. He noted how she refused to move out the projects for many years even though I had money, explaining that she loved her community, she loved her people. The rapper affectionately referred to his mother as Ms. Ruby the Terror Squad Queen, highlighting her strong connection to her neighborhood and the people around her. Throughout his career, Fat Joe has often spoken about how his mother's strength, generosity, and unwavering support helped shape his life and success. Marie del Carmen Cartagena's legacy will undoubtedly live on through her son's music and the values she instilled in him, a testament to the profound impact of a mother's love and dedication to her family and community. News 2. What an incredibly touching community story from Lowell, Massachusetts. 4-year-old Azriel Lopez was enjoying a day fishing by the Merrimack River with his mom and siblings when tragedy struck and he accidentally fell into the water. After nearly 2 weeks of an exhaustive search, local rescue teams, law enforcement, and neighbors all worked together, determined to bring little Azriel home. Today, thanks to their dedication, Azriel was found downstream in Tewksbury by an off-duty state police officer. The Lopez family, surrounded by heartfelt support, created a memorial filled with balloons, toys, and photos, a testament to just how loved Azriel was. Moments like these remind us of the power of community and compassion during life's toughest times. Azriel's memory will continue to inspire kindness and unity in Lowell and beyond. News 3. A tragic incident shook the community of Simi Valley, California yesterday afternoon when a small plane crashed into a residential neighborhood, claiming the lives of 2 people and a dog aboard the aircraft. The single-engine plane went down near High Meadow Street, damaging 2 homes in this quiet Southern California community. Residents reported seeing the aircraft circling erratically before the crash. One neighbor's security camera captured the plane flying dangerously close to homes for nearly 3 minutes, at times shooting straight up into the clouds before dropping down again. Armin Hovakimian, who was doing yard work when the crash occurred, described the terrifying moment. "I grabbed the hose because I saw the fire on the plane and I saw the fire on the house," Hovakimian recalled. "I kept the hose on the plane and then it just exploded." Hovakimian and his wife managed to flee their home as the side caught fire and the smell of gas filled the air. In what officials are calling miraculous, no one on the ground was injured despite the plane striking 2 occupied homes. The Van Kralingen family was visiting the Getty Center when they received a text about the crash. While their home suffered significant damage, including shattered windows in their family room, they expressed gratitude that no one was home at the time. The Federal Aviation Administration has confirmed the aircraft was a home-built kit airplane traveling locally from Lancaster to Camarillo. More than 40 firefighters responded to the scene, quickly extinguishing the flames and safely evacuating residents. As the rain misted over the neighborhood, firefighters and police officers worked diligently at the crash site. The National Transportation Safety Board and FAA are now leading the investigation to determine what caused this devastating accident, bringing the community together in support of those affected by this tragedy. News 4. Let's take a cheerful stroll through this week's standout internet trends, perfect for anyone who loves feeling connected and inspired. Blending a bit of nostalgia with a splash of new technology, 2025 is proving to be a remarkable year online. Older adults are discovering the magic of AI-powered streaming, meaning sharper images and ultra-smooth video for movie nights, family calls, and even virtual travel adventures from the comfort of home. Meanwhile, cloud gaming is on the rise, giving folks the chance to play top-tier games without shelling out for expensive consoles or battling clutter. Just click and play, right from your favorite device. And for those who love staying social, platforms like TikTok and YouTube Shorts continue to keep us entertained with delightful, short-form videos, while also bringing back a wave of longer storytelling content that feels like the warm embrace of a classic family show. All this connectivity also comes with heartwarming community stories, as people share everything from their cherished memories to their latest creative achievements. It's a beautiful reminder that, no matter how quickly technology changes, the best part of the internet is how it helps us celebrate each other and savor the little joys. So whether you're streaming, gaming, or just scrolling through for a moment of inspiration, here's to the moments that make us smile and bring us all a little closer together. News 5. Tragedy struck a southwest Atlanta neighborhood this weekend as a 10-year-old girl lost her life when a tree fell on her home during overnight storms. Erica Dixon, affectionately called Tink by her loved ones, was sleeping when the massive tree crashed through the roof of her family's home on Mims Street, SW, around 3 a.m. on Saturday. The incident happened while Erica was in bed with her grandmother. 5 other family members were also in the home at the time, including Erica's mother and siblings. Both her mother and grandmother sustained injuries in the accident and were transported to the hospital in stable condition. According to family reports, the grandmother suffered a broken pelvis and is experiencing paralysis in one of her legs. First responders arrived quickly after receiving a call about a fallen tree with possible entrapment. Firefighters worked through the wreckage but sadly discovered that young Erica, a fourth grader at Kipway's Academy, had succumbed to her injuries. Erica's sister Aquila described the terrifying moment, saying the house began shaking before everything crashed down. She shared touching words about her sister, describing her not just as a sibling but as her best friend. The community has rallied around the family during this difficult time. Governor Brian Kemp issued a statement expressing his condolences, and the American Red Cross has been contacted to provide additional support. A GoFundMe campaign has also been established to help the family with funeral expenses and recovery costs. As the family begins to heal from this heartbreaking loss, Erica will be remembered for the joy and love she brought to those around her. The Mosley Park neighborhood and broader Atlanta community continue to extend their support to the Dixon family as they honor the memory of their beloved Tink. News 6. Illinois is reflecting on the life and legacy of George Ryan, the former Republican governor who passed away on Friday, May 3, 2025, at the age of 91. Ryan died after being placed in hospice care in his hometown of Kankakee, Illinois, just one day earlier. His political career spanned 4 decades, during which he served in various roles including as Illinois' governor from 1999 to 2003, as well as Secretary of State, Lieutenant Governor, and Speaker of the Illinois House. Ryan began his journey in politics in the late 1960s as a member of the Kankakee County Board, following his earlier career as a pharmacist. Ryan is perhaps best remembered for his landmark decision in 2000 to place a moratorium on Illinois' death penalty, later commuting the sentences of 167 death row inmates to life imprisonment. This bold stance on capital punishment became a defining part of his legacy and the subject of a book he authored later in life. However, Ryan's career was also marked by controversy. He was convicted on federal corruption charges in 2006, stemming from a license for bribes scheme during his time as Secretary of State. This scandal was linked to a tragic 1994 highway crash that claimed the lives of 6 children. Following his conviction, Ryan served nearly 6 years in a federal prison in Terre Haute, Indiana. Despite these controversies, many remember Ryan as a pragmatic politician who worked effectively across party lines. Illinois Senate Republican leader John Cohen described him as a bold leader who wasn't afraid to reach across the aisle and bring people together for the greater good, noting his investments in infrastructure, technology, and education. As family, friends, and Illinois residents remember George Ryan, his complex legacy will continue to be a significant chapter in the state's political history, reflecting both notable achievements and serious missteps that shaped his remarkable journey through public service. Number 1. His voice didn't just sing, it told stories. Karel Blaha, the cherished Czech tenor known for his warm smile and powerful stage presence, has passed away at the age of 77. He died peacefully after a short illness, leaving behind decades of unforgettable performances that touched generations. Those who heard him sing never forgot the feeling. Whether it was the charm of a classic operetta or the emotional pull of a heartfelt lyric, Karel's voice carried sincerity, elegance, and joy. Born in Prague, he grew into an artist whose passion for music filled theaters across the Czech Republic. His talent took center stage in beloved productions like Romance za korunu and Sevatachi, as well as musical films including Vítězný lid. Audiences also remember his remarkable performance in Zábí muzikál, where his voice brought songs like Lekniny bílé and Prach to life with tenderness and depth. Beyond the spotlight, he was known for his humility, kindness, and deep respect for the craft. Colleagues often spoke of his generosity and professionalism, both backstage and in the recording booth. Actor and friend Jan Novi remarked, "Karel had a voice like velvet and a soul to match. When he sang, you listened, not just with your ears but with your heart." Karel's legacy lives on through a rich collection of televised performances, film appearances, and countless stage shows that helped define Czech musical theater. His contributions spanned across film and TV, including Dnes v jednom dom and Dedek Barta, often delighting audiences with both his singing and acting talent. He stood tall, both in presence and in spirit, and will be deeply missed. Karel Blaha's music endures, echoing in theaters, living rooms, and memories across the country. He leaves behind a cultural treasure that will inspire future performers and music lovers for years to come. Tributes to Karel Blaha. Joe Louis Walker's guitar spoke for all of us, telling stories of struggle and triumph in every note. These words from the Blues Hall of Fame capture what made him unforgettable.